Prince Harry down in mouth. UK Home Office made important decision to deny Duke's protection row. Prince Harry was denied to pay for his private protection by the UK Home Office that has no comparison to taxpayers-funded police security, a security expert said. Prince Harry filed a judicial review against the Home Office after being denied permission to pay for himself and his family's private security. Security expert Richard J.H. wrote that there is no comparison between the private police protection the Duke is using in the US and the government-provided detail the UK can offer. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle saw their security arrangements completely overhauled after announcing they were stepping down as working members of the royal family in 2020. The Director of Operations for Mobius International Security told, "Cost alone shouldn't be based solely on his role within the family and the taxpayers funded that service, besides the fact that Harry has now removed that argument in its entirety. He's offered to pay police protection so the UK government can't turn around and say the UK taxpayer isn't actually now going to fund this because you're no longer providing a service to the people. Now he has offered to pay for it in its entirety, so when you have to make a comparison between the private sector and the UK, and that of the government-led provision, there is no comparison whatsoever. And we're not just discussing the differences between manpower from a government police protection provision and that sort of private sector." He added, if Harry came home to the UK and he received private sector-only security, that security is compounded by not only the lack of competence and performance on the ground generally by those individuals but also the fact that you don't have the usual intelligence flows. But on top of that, which is probably the most influential aspect over all of them, is the fact that they don't have the law on their side. So police put a police provision of protection to someone in the UK, because they have the power of the law, they can create sterile and secure areas, they can prevent access by the civilians on the ground venues. They can control traffic flow and they can go whatever speed they like, they can stop traffic. I mean, just this in itself reduces the risk to threat quite considerably. Prince Harry is to give a lecture on how to be more productive at work, by having a good rest. The Duke of Sussex, who took 5 months paternity leave when his daughter Lilibet was born in June, will share his thoughts on burnout in his first public appearance in 10 months. A promo for the talk features his photo and the slogan, "Breakthroughs happen when you take a break." The 37-year-old prince has made just one podcast since he and wife Meghan signed an £18 million deal with Spotify in December 2020. The streaming giant is now said to be taking the deal into their own hands because of the lack of material. The couple also did a deal with Netflix 16 months ago, for a reported £100 million. There have been no shows yet. Harry's online lecture will be available to up to 100,000 business people who subscribe to BetterUp, a US firm that helps CEOs. It last year hired the prince as its chief impact officer. He will be joined at the Inner Workday seminar by tennis champ friend Serena Williams, music star DJ D-Nice and ex-basketball player Paul Gasol. BetterUp says Thursday's seminar is intended to fuel personal and professional growth and will include interactive well-being workshops. Harry vowed to become financially independent when he and Meghan, 40, quit their lives as senior royals in 2020 and moved to the US. Mr. H continued, in terms of cost and his role, those arguments don't really balance well with the current situation. In terms of risk, there's an argument that the government says that now he's no longer a member of the royal family his risk is now lowered. And I would actually argue, on the contrary, it has actually increased by virtue of the fact you have removed police protection from him, of the fact